Hi guys, welcome to the channel. Today we are going to do some weed whacking, cutting grass on our property. I got a Stihl FS 260 here with me. I'm gonna show you how to operate the machine and what kind of safety precautions you should take, how to mix the fuel with oil and everything you need to know to run this and cut all of your weeds on your property or tall grass that your lawnmower is too weak to handle. Okay, and as you can see, despite the very hot summer day, about 36 degrees Celsius today, I'm wearing long sleeved shirt and long pants because these are my working clothes that are soaked in permethrin to prevent tick bites and Lyme disease. So if you're going to operate a weed whacker, it's most likely you're going to walk into tall grass, and you should know if there's a tick hazard or not in your area. And here where we live, there's lots of ticks, and they even have Lyme disease. I've been bitten by one once and did a whole antibiotic series, so nothing cool. So these I've soaked in permethrin. There's another video I will link that you can watch me soaking these and preparing these clothes for the work I'm going to do today. And I think the first thing we should talk about is the weed whacker itself and the fuel mixture. Alright, so this is the Stihl FF260. It is a two-stroke gasoline engine. Basically the cutting end is over there. This is the engine box. There's the harness to it, and you operate it with these controls. Just swing it from left to right like you would do with a scythe. We're going to fill this up with gas in a moment, and this is a safety feature. You have to keep this pressed to add gas. This is the gas trigger, and then there's a stop button over here, and that's about it. And for the gasoline, just 95 unleaded and some oil. You mix the gas with the oil so that the engine stays lubricated. There's no separate oil inlet, and basically this container has a little cheat sheet for how much oil you should put into your gas. I've put about 5 liters of gas, so that's 100 milliliters of oil, so that's pretty easy to do. We've done this before with the permethrin, the same system. So just squeeze it until you get the desired amount of oil in your container, and then just pour it in to the gas mixture. Okay, you can see the gasoline turns green, and I'm going to put a cap on it, seal it tight and shake, and once it's mixed well, you can start using your weed whacker. Alright, and also for your gas tank you can get one of these nice caps. Basically it helps pouring the gasoline and prevents spilling. This works like this. When you press it, this opens. So when you have this on the gas tank and you press the gas tank down, this will open, the gasoline will pour out, and it will prevent spills. There's also a little tube to aerate the tank so that air can come in, gas can come out. Pretty smart system. So, and it just screws on to the canister simply like this. There you go. And if your gas canister has been sitting for a while, it will get high pressure due to the vapors of the gas. Then you can release the pressure like this before starting to pour the gas. That helps. Alright, and before we fill the weed whacker with gasoline, let's talk about the business end. This is where your cutting implement goes, and the engine drives a shaft that spins this around. So right now I have a piece of string in this. It's like a plastic cord, and there's a knife on this guard So what you do is, when it's spinning, you hit it against the ground so this depresses, and this allows for the string to come out a bit, and then the excess will be cut whilst it's spinning on this blade, or this, well, it's not that very sharp, but it cuts the string to length so that it doesn't get too long and hit you in the legs and stuff, I guess. So this will be spinning and cutting the grass like that. So this string that's in this box, it comes in a roll. You just spool out a piece, cut it to length, wind it up on a spool inside, and use it like that. But there are other cutting implements that there's plenty of them, but I use three. One of them is the string, of course, for thicker grass, like really heavy stuff. I've got this blade. It's a fixed blade. It goes through tall, like really thick brush easily. When it's like really stiff and almost like wood-like, when the stems turn hard, this string won't help. But this has no problem, especially if you sharpen it often and maybe even in the field. And also, if you have a problem with, if you have a piece of forest or trees and you have new growth sprouting, they also offer rotating discs. I haven't used this one yet. I plan to in our forest to cut the small trees down. Of course, each of these has its own separate guard to keep you protected, and there are plenty others to choose from. But yeah, this is a very versatile tool for different applications, and as always, this is my own and I paid full retail price for it, so my review is unbiased and I'm telling you my honest opinion. And yeah, just I want to make this very clear that if ever something is sponsored, I'll let you guys know about it, but I always try to be honest and forthcoming about everything. And I've used this last year and it worked great, so I don't expect anything different this year. Alright guys, so it's time to pour some fuel. I drained this for the winter time so that no old fuel is left inside. You can see the cap is retained by a piece of wire or plastic material so that doesn't go missing. We have our mix ready. It's nice and green, and we're using HP Super oil, Stihl oil, for different cutters, weed whackers, chainsaws, brush cutters, everything. So this is a two-stroke engine, so this is good for two-stroke. And of course, let the air out like this, and then we can pour our fuel. And you can hear it stop. That means that the tank is full. So this is a really nice system for preventing overflow, and this cap you can put it on top of here, also very nice. Alright, so we're full of fuel. Good. Now here we have a little button that you push a couple of times. It's like a little suction pump until you see fuel coming up. So this will prime the engine with fuel. And then on the front here you have a choke controls. You put this to choke, helps the engine start when it's cold, and you hit the trigger, the choke, to add gas. The choke automatically releases, so that's pretty cool. Less things to worry about. Of course there's like fine-tune adjustments to the engine, but we're not going to do that. Let's try to start it and see what happens. And you can drop start it, or you can pull on the twine and see how it goes. Let's try. Let's put it to choke and let's see. There you go. That took a little while, but I put the choke in the middle setting and that seemed to help. Maybe user error. You guys let me know in the comments. Another thing I would like to talk about is the harness. It's a prosumer model, like a higher than a regular consumer model. So it has a harness with some clips so that your saw hangs on the side here and you get this nice padding, pretty comfortable to wear for extended periods of time. And yeah, so one more thing, safety gear. When you're operating weed whackers, they can kick up small things right into your face or your eyes, like small stone, or if there's a bottle and they crack the bottle, pieces of shards of glass. So I've been warned by somebody that they got a piece of glass stuck in their eye because of operating one of these. So don't take any chances. Hearing protection and a face shield. I'm using a full polycarbonate face shield. I use it for grinding when I do welding, and it's perfect for this situation too. Some gloves are nice because when you're holding onto the machine and you hit a molehill or something, rocks can fly up and hit your knuckles if you're using the fixed blade especially. So get some gloves and some hearing protection too. I just use regular earplugs, but you can get full headsets. So the weed whacker, it will hang on your side so it doesn't weigh that much. You can balance it out over here, but first let's get this started. Thank you guys for watching this episode. I hope you enjoyed me talking about my weed whacker. If you want to pick one up, there will be some links in the doobly-doo. And have a great day. come on, I'll show you some more. So this is some pretty tall brush. These are like stinging plants. Sting that basically itches a lot. We're going to cut them out. If you want to watch. Still doing here? It's been about 3 hours and I've done 2 tanks of gas on this. It's maybe a liter of gas. I have no idea actually, but it's enough for me for one day. 3 hours of cutting grass, and the results are pretty good. You can see I've cut about 1,000 square meters. Except for under that tree, all the way up to that fence. The Stihl is doing fantastic. So I highly recommend it if you need power. It's got plenty of that. They install only once. When I get into the big brushes, the tall grass, I cut it twice. Once in the middle and then from the bottom. That way I get good speed. If you need a weed whacker, I highly recommend this one. It's done an amazing job once again, and I'll probably still run it a few hours, maybe next week, to get the rest of the grass cut. So yeah, thanks for watching once again, and talk to you next time. Bye. Something.